guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, I'm Patti, and on Mondays I make gnomes and characters, and on Thursdays I do budget-friendly home decor. Today I'm going to share with you these super cute, easy little treat bag gnomes. If you want to know how to make them, stick around. I'll show you how. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, you need some pillow ticking, a 5x7 bag. I didn't use the buttons. You're going to need a nose, some stuffing, some weighted beads, and some faux fur. Okay, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take a 5x7 bag, turn it inside out, and we are going to box the corners. So you're going to take it and open it up on the side and fold it over. So you're folding seam to seam, and we're going to go 1 inch over on this. And then just go ahead and glue that down. Just make sure you got it 1 inch. And then I'm going to go ahead and come in here and cut these little corners off so that I have a little bit less fabric on the bottom right there. And I can see my little point a little bit easier. Okay, and just go ahead and glue that down, and we're going to do the same thing for the other side. Now the other side doesn't have a seam down one side, so you're just going to kind of line it up with the other one on the opposite side. So just come over, fold it over, and we're going to go on that one 1 inch as well, and then just glue that down. Just make sure you get it completely glued in there. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and turn it right side out. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill it with weighted beads. Go ahead and get your boxed bottom on this pretty opened up. Make sure it's pretty flat. And then we're going to add some weighted beads. And I'm going to add probably about 1 inch worth of weighted beads. And then I'm going to come back in and put stuffing to fill the rest of the bag. And then just go ahead and seal it up. You don't want it to be too fat. Just kind of get it filled up in there. And then just tie that off. And then just cut off the excess ribbon. So we're just going to cut our beard. We're going to cut it at 2 1/4 inches wide by 2 1/2 inches in length. And then you're just going to cut a U around there, cutting behind the faux fur only, not through the faux fur, and then clean off the excess fur. Next, we're just going to attach it to our bag, and we're just going to attach it right where it bends going up. Just glue it on. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do our hat. We're cutting a 12 by 12 inch piece of fabric, starting about 1 inch up. You're just going to start curving until you get to the point at the top. Now we're going to go ahead and glue it down. Now you're going to leave a little gap at the very top. Don't glue. Probably leave about 1/2 inch at the top because we are going to add some decorations to the top that need to go through the hole at the top. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and cuff it up 2 inches before we turn it right side out. And then go ahead and fold that in a little bit so it's not so gapped open, and just glue that in. Just kind of flatten it out a little bit and glue it up. And then go ahead and glue your cuff to your hat. Okay, then just turn it right side out. Using pliers really helps to get this turned out really good, and then it also helps you to push the peak of that hat through once you get it turned right side out. Just push it all the way out so you have that opening at the end. Next, we're going to just go ahead and cuff it up 1 inch all the way around. And then we're going to go ahead and take a pipe cleaner, and we're going to attach it to the center part. And we're going to glue it in, and that's going to make our hat be able to bend at the top. And then go ahead and attach your hat. Now it's going to be a little bit snug, but you go ahead and push it on in there and pull the back down a little bit farther than the front. And then just go ahead and bend over your top of your hat. And then we're going to glue in both sides and the back. Just leave the front open because you want to make sure that you have room to put your nose on there. And I got these bags on Amazon, and I'll give you the link for those as well. Okay, next we're going to attach our nose. We're just going to glue it right up close to the top of that hat, and then we're going to put a little bit of glue on the hat and glue it to the top of the nose. Next, I'm going to take a piece of jute, just a thin piece of jute, and I'm going to attach a little bell to it. And I painted that bell with leather brown Krylon paint. Just pull it up through there, and then we're going to add 3 little beads to this, and this is what's going to hang off of his hat. And then you're just going to tie that off into a knot, a couple little knots. Now don't tie it too tight, otherwise your bell will set at an angle. Then we're going to just go ahead and cut that off. We're going to add a little bit of glue so we can put it through the hole in that hat. Just glue those 2 pieces together. And then trim it off, and we're just going to stick it through that hole that we left open at the end of the hat. And then go ahead and add a little glue up underneath there to glue that tip of that hat to those beads. Okay, next we're just going to come in with a couple of pieces of wheat, and I'm just going to trim off the top of it so it's not too long, kind of do it at a U shape on there. I'm just going to pull that apart because it was a little bit too long, just to stick up into his hat. Okay, this one was pretty easy. If you want to see how I made the little one, I'm making it just like that, but I'll give you the dimensions and show you what size hat I made. Okay, it's coming up next. Where you're going to use a 3.5 by 5 inch treat bag, and if you can't find these bags, you don't want to buy these bags, you can always just make them. It's just a rectangle, but we're going to fold these in 3/4 of an inch on the boxed end, just like we did on the bigger one. Just fold them in till they meet in the middle where the seam is. Just want to make sure that the seams go together, and that'll create the nice boxed in bottom for it. Okay, then go ahead and turn it right side out, and just make sure that you get the bottom squared off there. And then I am adding about 1/4 of the way full with beads. I put a little bit more in this one than I did the bigger one. It just needed a little bit more balance, and then just fill the rest of it with the stuffing. Just don't overstuff it to make it real fat. Otherwise, you'll have a hard time getting your hat on. Okay, then I'm just taking a pipe cleaner, folding it in half, and I'm going to cut it off to where it's about 4 inches in length. And then just go ahead and put it right in the center, just like we did the other one, and glue that in. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and cut the beard. We're going to cut it at 1.5 inches by 1 3/4 inches. And then cutting behind the faux fur only, cut it in a U shape, and then just going to go ahead and clean any excess fur off. Next, we're going to go ahead and attach the beard, and we're just going to attach it right a little bit above where the break is on there, where it curves up. Okay, now we're going to make the hat. It's 8.5 by 8.5. We're going to come up 2 inches from the bottom, and we are going to curve up to the point. So just go ahead and curve it till you get to the point. Then we're going to go ahead and open it up facing sides together, and we're going to go ahead and glue it up. Now leave a little opening in the top part to put your little beads in. We're going to go ahead and cuff it up 1 1/4 inches before we turn it right side out, and then go ahead and glue that down. Okay, turn it right side out, and then make sure that you run your pliers through there to get that point all the way open at the top. Okay, next we're just going to fold it up 3/4 of an inch, make a cuff all the way around. And then we're going to go ahead and attach it to our gnome. Just go ahead and pull it on down. Just kind of squeeze them on in there. It'll be a tight fit on this one as well. And then go ahead and bend the little hat over. And then we're going to go ahead and glue in the back. Okay, next we're going to just go ahead and attach his bead. Just lift up his hat and attach it right up underneath there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the jute. We're going to attach the little bell to it, the little beads to it, and we're just going to stick this right up in his hat as well. Just make sure you tie those off before you do that, and then go ahead and glue it together and cut it off so you can get it through that hole. And then just glue that in. And then we're just going to attach a couple pieces of wheat to him as well. And that's pretty much it. This one is a really good size for a tiered tray. The other one is great for any kind of place you want to set him. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like. If you want to see future videos, be sure and subscribe. And if you want to be notified when I have another video, hit the bell. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.